Hey everybody, Captain B-Nard back here with another Wi-Fi battle. Today we have week 4 of the BHDL1 Draft League, so we're going to go ahead and get this battle on its way here. This is going to be against RK9er, an opponent I don't believe we've ever battled before. And so, looks like IGN is Jesse. So, yeah, here we go. We're ready to go with the battle, so we're going to see what he brought to battle here. So he's got the Roaring Moon. Alright, he's got the Iron Treads. He's got the Mimikyu. He's got the Star Raptor. He has the Electros. And he's got the Greninja. So I am actually very surprised to not see Espeon. I really thought he would bring Espeon this week. So no Espeon is a big shock to me, actually. But he does have all three of his Terra Captains, the Mimikyu, the Mimikyu, two of his Terra Captains, the Mimikyu and Electros. So we have to decide what we want to lead with here real quick. There you can see my squad on the left, obviously. We kind of had a plan going in to lead with the Iron Moth, so that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm not going to change course with that, even though I was really expecting the Espeon, so like I said, I'm very shocked that he did not bring the Espeon to the game this week. But it's a good shock, actually. So, yeah, we'll go ahead and see what we can get going in this match. It definitely looks to be a difficult one for us. There's a lot of things we have to be careful of going into this match against this team. He's got a lot of top-level threats, so we got to be very careful with this one. So, we'll see how it goes. There he is. And he's going to lead with the Greninja, so that's interesting versus my Iron Moth. So we're in an interesting situation here because we are Scarf, so the only way that he outspeeds us is if he's Scarf. He also could have Water Shuriken on deck, which would be really awful. I was hoping he wouldn't lead with the Greninja, actually, so we could go ahead and get a pivot, but I don't think I'm prepared to risk the Iron Moth on whether or not he's Scarf, because he could easily be Scarf. So yeah, we're in a bit of a pickle early. I think we're just going to go ahead and just switch. He could also be packing a grass move too, so I think we're just going to straight up switch into the Wigglytuff to try and scout him, see what he wants to do. So we do switch, and we're going to come in with the Wigglytuff, which hopefully should be decent to handle whatever he throws at us here. He is actually going to switch out as well, so we switched out first, which means that we should be faster. He's actually going to go ahead and go to the Electros, which is interesting. So, yeah, we're in an interesting situation right now. Electros obviously has a very wide move pool, can do a lot of different things. Not entirely sure how we want to play this. I don't know what we can really do without knowing more of his set. I think the best thing we can do is probably just go ahead. I kind of want to switch to the Pink Urchin, but we have to be very careful with the Pink Urchin because setting the electric terrain is going to benefit that Iron Treads on his side. So I kind of don't want to like bait the Iron Treads in. So this is an interesting situation. But at the same time, I feel like this is probably our best switch. So we'll go ahead and switch to the Pink Urchin in case he decides to go for an electric move here. And we'll see where that gets us. Don't want to take any unnecessary damage on the Wigglytuff, and I can't see it doing too much damage to that thing. So we come in with the Pink Urchin, get the Electric Surge, set that electric terrain up, and what is he going to do? He's going to go for a Flamethrower, so that actually does quite a bit of damage to us, takes us down by about a little less than half, so that's interesting. So at this point, I think what we're going to want to do is we're actually going to try to set up a layer of Toxic Spikes on him. I think that's going to be beneficial, as I expect a lot of switching in this game. As he just goes for another Flamethrower, that is going to knock us all the way down to 32 HP in the red. We do survive, go for the layer of Toxic Spikes, which is nice, and yeah, that's not bad. So I feel like there's a chance he definitely could be Choice, although that would be really weird if he was. So but it's definitely possible. So I think actually what we're going to do is we're just going to straight up switch into the Iron Moth. Maybe he is choice, but either way, we're just going to go ahead and switch to the Iron Moth right now. So there it is. And we are going to go ahead and get the Quark Drive to give us a special attack increase, which will hopefully benefit us greatly, as he does go for a Drain Punch, so he switches it up this turn, goes for the Drain Punch. Not going to do too much damage to us, and he doesn't regain any health either, so he's a mix set, which is interesting, and he's not choice, which is also interesting. So now we have a choice to make here. I feel like the best thing we can do, we have to get some damage on something at this point, so best move we have is going to be Flamethrower, so I say we just go for it and see what he wants to do here. And he does stay in. We go Flamethrower. It's Quark Drive boosted. It still doesn't even do half, which is not good. He goes for the Volt Switch in return, which does quite a bit of chip damage thanks to the Electric Terrain actually knocking us a little below half, and he does get the pivot, so we know almost his full set here on the Electros. So he has Drain Punch, he has Flamethrower, and he has Volt Switch. So we'll see what he wants to bring in. He did take 50% there on the Electros, which is nice. His fourth move very well could be Grass Coverage, which is why I'm very hesitant to switch the Gastrodon in against that thing. As well, there's not a ton Gastrodon can do in return to that thing. But yeah, he does get the pivot, obviously, so we'll see what he wants to bring in here. Unfortunately, we had to take a lot of damage on the Iron Moth there, which is not great. But now he's in a little bit of a pickle, I think, here as to what he wants to switch in. So, what is it going to be? What is it going to be? He is definitely really thinking about this one. So, he does have all of his Pokemon still left, actually. So, it is going to be the Roaring Moon, which is a good call on his part, unfortunately. So, he does get poisoned off the Toxic Spikes, which is good news for us. So he is going to go ahead and pop a Booster Energy as well. Photosynthesis is going to activate, and that gives him an attack increase, which is actually very terrifying. He is going to take some poison damage, which is nice. And so now I think the best thing we can do here, we can't really stay in with Iron Moth because we're choice locked into Flamethrower, obviously. I think best play here is to just go to the Orthworm. So I think that's what I'm going to do. Yeah, we just go to the Orthworm here. We could go Wigglytuff, but he could have coverage. I think it's less likely he has coverage for the Orthworm, plus we're packing the Rocky Helmet. So I think that's probably the best thing we can do right now, so that is what we're going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and come in with our Orthworm here, and yeah, he is going to go ahead and actually make a double switch of his own here. Not sure what he's predicting, but he's going to be coming back in with the Electros, so that's kind of bad for us, actually. Because now we know this thing has Flamethrower, obviously, and we really can't afford to take a big shot with the Orthworm. Not knowing his fourth move is really bad, actually, because that fourth move is Grass Coverage. That's going to be awful. I want to switch the Gastrodon in, but if that fourth move is Grass Coverage, that's going to be really, really bad if he predicts that, or even if he doesn't, he can go for it next turn, and that's going to be really, really bad. Even so, how many turns do we have left? We have we only have 3 turns of the Electric Terrain left, so I feel like we have to switch. I feel like we go Gastrodon here. We have to hope that he doesn't have the Grass Coverage, or at least he doesn't go for it. If he does have it, I think that's the best thing we can do, because we can't sack Pincurchin right now because we need the Terrain. So we're going to switch in with Gastrodon, and he's going to go for the Flamethrower. So that is not going to do much of anything to Gastrodon. He does get the Burn, which is really unfortunate for us, because that means that's going to cancel our Leftovers recovery out, which does suck. But there's not much we can do about that. Now is going to be the moment of truth here, because the question is, does he have Grass Coverage? We know he's got Volt Switch, Flamethrower, Drain Punch. Does he have the Grass Coverage? Does he have the Grass Coverage? That's the question. If he does have the Grass Coverage, he's going to go for it right now. That much is obvious. If he doesn't have the Grass Coverage, I feel like he switches here. So I think to try and scout for the Grass Coverage, I feel like we switch in with Iron Moth here. I think that's going to be our best chance here, because we really cannot afford to lose Gastrodon like this for no reason. So I feel like, yeah, he either switches or he's got the grass coverage. Either way, I think we survive a grass move, even from the HP we're at with the Iron Moth. So we're going to make a risky play here, but we have no choice. Go into the Iron Moth here as we get the Cork Drive to increase our special attack once more. He is going to go for the Giga Drain. So he did have the grass coverage on deck for us, so thank God we got out of there. He's going to regain a little HP there. And yeah, so now we're in kind of a bad spot because based on the first Volt Switch damage that we took, I actually don't know that we can survive another one. So this is going to be really tricky. This Electros is definitely giving us a lot of problems here. Man, this is going to be hard. Unless we get a high roll or a crit, I don't think the next Flamethrower takes this thing out. And he probably just does Volt Switch here. I feel like unfortunately, we have no choice but to stay in with Iron Moth here. Which does suck. We might be losing Iron Moth here to this thing, but I don't really see another play that we can make here. Man. I really don't want to lose Iron Moth, though. Yeah, I feel like we might lose Iron Moth here, but we just have to stay in. Well, actually, no, we might not. You know what? Let's U-turn. Let's see what happens here. Let's U-turn. So he does stay in. We do U-turn. We get some chip damage, which is nice, and we're going to switch back out, which is nice. So he definitely, I think, goes for the Volt Switch here because we know his full set. He definitely goes for the Volt Switch. Now, we could bring the Gastrodon in, and we could mind game him here by bringing the Gastrodon in. I feel like we actually do that. So yeah, let's try to mind game him with the Gastrodon and see if we get a free switch here. So we're going to switch the Gastrodon in, and he is going to Volt Switch. Okay, so we do get the prediction right, which is incredible. So a little bit of mind games going on here as we are going to regain some HP with the leftovers and then lose that damage straight away to the burn, obviously. So, and then that's going to be it for the Electric Train. So I think actually what we can do in this situation is now we can actually switch our Pincurchin in as fodder, essentially, to reset the Electric Terrain for another 8 turns. So I feel like that's going to be the play right now to get Gastrodon out. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to make basically the sacrifice play with Pincurchin to reset the Electric Terrain. So there it is. And so we are going to get the Electric Surge, obviously, set the terrain up once again, as he is going to go for the Giga Drain. Unfortunately, it is enough to finish the Pincurchin off. He regains a little bit of HP with that, but I don't think enough to survive another attack from the Iron Moth. So we have a little bit of a choice to make here. I don't really want to come in with Hawlucha just yet because I don't want to use that Electric Seed just yet. So I think what we do is we do go back. I think we do go back to the. The Iron Moth now that the terrain is reset, because I believe, based on the damage we did from the first Flamethrower at this point, I believe the second one will take this thing out right now. It's going to be close, but I think we do get the KO here, so we just go for the Flamethrower and hope for the best here. It's going to be close if he stays in, but I think we do. I think based on the damage the first one did, even if that was a low roll, I think we get the KO with this one, hopefully. So we'll see what happens here. We are +1 thanks to the terrain. He stays in. We go Flamethrower. Is it enough? Yes, it is enough to go ahead and get rid of that Electros, thank God, and knock him down to 5. So that is that Electros gave us a lot of trouble, obviously, but we get rid of it with the Iron Moth and knock him down to 5. So that is one potential problem out of the way for sure there. So that is good news for us. So we'll see what he wants to bring in response here. We still do have a bunch of turns with the terrain. So now he's going to come back in with the Roaring Moon, unfortunately. We can't stay in, obviously, being choice item or choice locked into Flamethrower, so we have to switch. We could either switch into the Wigglytuff or the Earthworm in this situation. So I feel like the Wigglytuff might actually be a better switch here. So we're actually just going to go ahead and switch to the Wigglytuff here. We do have the Dragon Immunity and the Dark Resistance, so we're going to do that. He also might predict the Earthworm since we came in with that last time. So there's the Wigglytuff. He goes for the Dragon Dance, so that's really terrifying. He's going to go ahead and get that attack and speed increase, which is obviously awful. He's going to take some damage from the poison, which is good news. And now all we can do is hope. We know that none of his stab moves can hit us, obviously. We just go for the Dazzling Gleam here and hope we can survive an attack. He goes for the Acrobatics. We can survive the Acrobatics with 38 HP in the red. Go for the Dazzling Gleam in return, and that is going to take that Roaring Moon out and knock him down to 4. So that is incredible for us. Wigglytuff hanging on for us there and getting rid of the Roaring Moon, which is great. That's exactly what I wanted the Wigglytuff for, was for the Roaring Moon, as we do get some HP back with the leftovers. So Wigglytuff doing its job there. Unfortunately, now he's going to come in with the Iron Treads, and he is going to go ahead and get the Cork Drive, and that's going to increase his speed. So that's actually really bad. We definitely can't afford to switch out on this thing. So I feel like we actually just stay in here and Fire Blast. That's our best chance, so that's what we're gonna, I think, do here. That's what we're gonna do. Yep. So he's definitely gonna outspeed us here. We'll see what he wants to do. If he goes for a Rapid Spin to get rid of the Toxic Spikes, we might actually survive that from this range with Wigglytuff. And if we could get a Fire Blast on this thing, that would be incredible. But we'll see how he wants to play this, as he actually is going to double switch the Iron Tread, so that's interesting. What's he going to switch in with? It's going to be the Greninja, so not sure what he was predicting there, but he comes in with the Greninja, and he is going to take the poison off the Toxic Spikes, which is great. We are going to go for the Fire Blast with the Wigglytuff. We do connect, which is nice, and that is going to do some chip damage to the Greninja, actually, which is not terrible. As then we are going to get some HP back with the leftovers, and he is going to take some poison damage. So we're in an interesting situation again, because the question is, do we want to try to save Wigglytuff or not? Now, I am not sure. We do have to be mindful of these electric terrain turns as well. We only have 3 turns left on the electric terrain. So I say we probably don't try to save the Wigglytuff at this point. I think we just stay in, and we'll stay in, and we'll try to wish. I think that's the play. We're going to try to get a wish off and see what he wants to do here. He actually goes for the Dark Pulse, so not sure what he was predicting there. Protean going to change him to the Dark type. It is enough, unfortunately, to go ahead and take the Wigglytuff out and knock us down to 4. I think he might be choice on the Greninja. I'm definitely thinking he might be choice on the Greninja, so he is going to take some poison damage. So the question is it time to try and bring the Hawlucha in? I think it might be now or never for the Hawlucha. I think it might be now or never for the Hawlucha, because we only have 2 more turns of the electric terrain left. So yeah, I think it's now or never for the Hawlucha, and thinking that he might actually be choice locked into Dark Pulse. So we're going to go ahead and come in with the Hawlucha here. We're going to pop our Electric Seed, giving us that physical defense increase, which is great. Now the only question in this situation here is, what does he have? What does he have? Is he choice item or is he not? In a way, I don't want to Terra, because if he is choice item, that's going to be really bad, or it's going to be really bad because we're going to reveal the Terra. If he's not choice item, we're going to get Ice Beam to hell, obviously. So I think we have to Terra, because I think we have to Terra here, because if he is, that's the only way we could survive an attack if he goes Ice Beam. So we Terra to a Dark type, and we try to set the Swords Dance up. I think that's our chance here to do that. So yeah, we're going to do it. As he does switch the Greninja out. Okay, what does he switch in with here? Is it going to be... Okay, it's going to be the Star Raptor. So he's coming in with that thing. There it is, and he gets the Intimidate to cut our attack, which is unfortunate. We go down to -1 attack. We're going to go ahead and pop our Terra here for no reason, unfortunately. So we're going to go ahead and Terastallize into a Dark type, obviously. So there that is. So that was kind of our ace in the hole, kind of blown out, unfortunately. So we are going to go ahead and Swords Dance. So that is going to go ahead and give us our Sharp Attack increase. So that leaves us at +1 attack. So the question at this point is, what do we do? I feel like a Terra Blast is enough at +1 to take the one-shot this thing. he could very well be Scarf. And if he's Scarf, that would be really bad. Or I'm not, sorry, not Scarf. He could be Scarf, but he could also be Sash. So if he's Sash, he survives any attack we go for, and then takes us out with an attack on the other side. So that would be really bad. However, we're kind of in with the we're in now with the Hawlucha. So I feel like we just have to. I feel like we go Terra. I feel like Terra Blast at +1 takes him out. So I think we go Terra Blast. We don't want to drop our defense here, so we go for the Terra Blast. Obviously, we outspeed. How much damage is it going to do? Is he going to be Focus Sash? Here's the Terra Blast, and it's not even enough to take him down to a Sash if he has one. He goes for the U-turn, which actually knocks us down a little less than half. So that actually didn't work out nearly as well as I wanted it to, unfortunately, since we are only at +1. So that's not great, honestly, as now he does get the pivot on us. So we'll see what he wants to come in with here. What is it going to be? If I think, let's see, what's it going to be? Let's see what he does here. That is the question. What is it going to be? What is it going to be? So it's going to be the Greninja. So that's really interesting, actually. So he comes in with the Greninja, and he is going to go ahead and take some poison damage. So I'm not 100% sure why he would do that. The electric terrain is going to go away. Now, the only reason I'm thinking he might do that is if he has Water Shuriken. That would be, I think, the only reason that he would do this, because even if he's Scarf, he doesn't outspeed us, but at the same time, would he be Scarf with Water Shuriken? Would that make sense? He could be Specs with Water Shuriken. As much as I hate to do this, I feel like the only reason he would have done this is if he's Water Shuriken and he's Choice. So as much as I hate to do this, I think we have to switch Hawlucha out right now, or we're going to lose it for no reason. I don't think there's any other reason he brings this in right now unless he's got Water Shuriken. So I think we have to switch to the Gastrodon. So yeah, we're going to switch to the Gastrodon. As much as I hate to do it, we really have no choice. Because I think he's got to be Water Shuriken, and he's got to go for it, I think, because I don't think he brings this in for any other reason. So we go that. He does go Surf, actually, so he's not Water Shuriken. That is really interesting. So we do actually get the Storm Drain boost with the Gastrodon, though, to increase our speed. So that's actually, or I'm sorry, special attack, so that's incredible. We get some HP back with the leftovers as Greninja going to go ahead and take some poison damage here. So I'm willing to bet. I feel like this Greninja is definitely choice item at this point. So I feel like at this point we definitely get the Stealth Rock up. That's 100% our play right now. Because the Staraptor goes down on the switch in if we get it in, unless he brings it in now. As he does switch the Greninja out, what's he coming in with? It is going to be the Staraptor, so he probably knew the Stealth Rock was coming. So he comes in with the Staraptor. Gets the Intimidate to lower our attack, which is unfortunate. Well, we're specials, that part doesn't matter much, but we do get the Stealth Rock up, so that's good. So that ensures the Staraptor can't switch out, which is good. And then we are going to go ahead and get some HP back with the leftovers, and then just lose that damage right back to the burn. So at this point, I say we definitely have to switch Gastrodon out because we don't want to take any unnecessary damage on the Gastrodon, so I think we just go to the Earthworm here. I think that's our switch, so that's what we're going to do, and we'll see what he wants to do. So, switching our Earthworm in right now here, he is going to go for the close combat, so he predicts the switch. That's terrible. It takes us down by 50%. He goes ahead and takes some defense drops there, and the Rocky Helmet Chip going to go ahead and actually finish the Staraptor off, though, which is incredible for us, and that is going to knock him down to 3. So that is good news, actually. The Staraptor goes down. So he's got the Iron Treads, the Greninja, and the Mimikyu left. So, yeah, we did take a big shot there on Earthworm, unfortunately, but we really didn't have much of a choice, I don't think. So, yeah, we'll see what he wants to do now. He's going to go ahead and come in with the Iron Treads, which is interesting. He is going to take some Stealth Rock damage. I'm not 100% sure what he's going to want to do here, but I don't think we really have a good switch to the Iron Treads, unfortunately. So I think our play here has to be Our play here has to be to go for an Earthquake, I think. Earthquake or Body Press. I guess it doesn't really matter which, to be completely honest. I think they do around the same. So we'll go Earthquake, see what he wants to do. He's going to Stealth Rock, so that's really interesting. He goes for the Stealth Rock of his own here to get that set up. We could have taken that chance to Iron Defense, actually, if I had known that, but it is what it is. So we go Earthquake. It does take this thing down by over 50%, which is great. It is going to go, or then he's going to go ahead and regain some HP with the leftovers. So I feel like we have no choice but to just go Earthquake again here. He's got the rocks up, which sucks. I don't know if Iron Moth can survive another switch in on the rocks. I think it can switch in one more time, so I think we just go for the Earthquake again here, as he goes for a Rapid Spin to get rid of our hazard, so that sucks. So he's going to go ahead and get a speed increase there and blow away our Stealth Rock and our Toxic Spikes, which sucks. We go for the Earthquake in return after he takes the Rocky Helmet chip. That's going to be enough to go ahead and get rid of the Iron Treads, knocking him down to 2. So that's incredible for us. So Earthworm is putting in a lot of work here, but he's got one more Pokemon left in the back that really worries me, and that is the Mimikyu. So I think this whole game is going to hinge on Mimikyu at this point. So that's kind of where we are right now. So we are looking a little worse for wear with the Earthworm. With our defense investment, I don't know if we can take an attack from Mimikyu or not. But there's the Mimikyu. We knew that was going to be coming in. So he comes in with the Mimikyu here. Unfortunately, the hazards are down. We definitely have no choice but to go ahead and break this thing's decoy. So we're just going to go ahead, and we haven't clicked anything other than Earthquake. So we just clicked the Earthquake again to break the decoy. As he does go for the Swords Dance, I definitely figured he would do that. But we have no choice. We had to break the decoy here. So we go for the Earthquake. And that is going to obviously break the decoy. So that's good news. He is going to take some damage, obviously, from that. And now this whole game is going to hinge on Mimikyu. This whole game is going to hinge on Mimikyu. So we can't switch. We have to stay in here. Now, the only thing we can do is, in this situation, is go ahead and go. I think he hasn't popped his Terra yet, and Mimikyu is one of his Terra captains, so that's the terrifying thing about this situation. I would be willing to bet just about anything he's going to Terra here. I think we still go for the Iron Head here if we can survive an attack. I think that's our play. So indeed, he is going to go ahead and bust out the Terra. What type is he going to Terra into? This is going to be a very critical point in the match. He is going to Terrastalize into a pure Ghost type. So that's fine. He does lose the weaknesses to Steel, obviously, so he's pure Ghost. He goes for the Shadow Claw. It is boosted by Terra, obviously. He hits us up with that. We can't take it, unfortunately, as he does take some Rocky Helmet damage on the way out, which is nice. That's going to knock the Earthworm out and knock us down to 3. So we really only have... I think we only have, like, one shot here. Well, I guess we have 2 shots. We have 2 chances here. And our 2 chances are going to be... Number 1, either the Gastrodon or the Hawlucha, because I think we obviously take the Stealth Rock damage with the Hawlucha. Do we try the Hawlucha first, or do we try the Gastrodon first? That's the question. I think we try Hawlucha here. We try Hawlucha. So we come in with Hawlucha here. So we're going to take Stealth Rock damage, which is unfortunate. Now, even at +2, are we going to outspeed this thing is the real question. That I don't know. I'm hoping we can outspeed. Unless he's max speed with a speed nature, we do outspeed him. He might go for the Shadow Sneak here, and if he does, the question is, can we take one at +2? It's all really going to come down to this, I think. So we just have to go for the Durablast Dark. He goes for the Shadow Sneak. It's boosted by Terra and +2. Can we survive it? Can Hawlucha take? Come on, Hawlucha. Yes! With 5 HP, Hawlucha hangs on, goes for the Terrablast Dark, takes the Mimikyu out, and knocks him down to just 1 Pokemon. So Hawlucha coming in clutch for us there. Absolutely clutch for us there, Hawlucha, on that resisted Shadow Sneak. His last Pokemon is going to be the Greninja. He comes in with that. Now, this thing is more than definitely choice, I believe. I don't think there's any reason to try and switch Hawlucha at this point. We know he's got only a couple turns left on Poison here, so I think we just stay in with the Hawlucha and we go for the close combat here and we'll see what he wants to do. I believe this Greninja has to be choice in some way, so we have to see what move he locks himself into. He is choice. He goes for the Dark Pulse. Protean going to change him to a Dark type. That's obviously going to take the Hawlucha out and knock us down to 2 Pokemon. So Hawlucha goes down, but Hawlucha did its job in this one 1,000%. As the Greninja is going to take some poison damage, and I believe next turn this thing goes down to the poison damage no matter what, I believe. So I think we just go ahead and we come in with the Gastrodon here. I think that's our play. So we're going to go ahead and switch the Gastrodon in, and we are going to take the Stealth Rock damage. I think we do, even if this thing is max special attack choice spec, I think we do still take a Dark Pulse from this thing. So we're just going to go ahead and click Ice Beam here as he does go for the Dark Pulse, and it does knock us down to about a third. We do survive, go for the Ice Beam in return, and Gastrodon takes that Greninja down, and that is game. All right. So we are going to win that one 2-0 against Jesse, but that was a great match. Very close, very competitive, down to the wire. Just an absolutely incredible game there. And not much room to breathe, but we're going to go ahead and back out here. So, with this win, the Philadelphia Pidgeys are going to advance to a 3-1 record here in the BHDL1. But yeah, that was an intense game. I'm very happy to get the win there. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm going to leave it for this one. You guys know the deal. I'm going to give it a couple days to digest the game, and then I'm going to go ahead and come back with the weekly recap / preview video next time. So once again, great match to my opponent. Very well played, very hard fought. So that's it. Thanks for watching again, everybody. Hope you all enjoyed. Please hit that like button, leave a comment, and or subscribe if you did enjoy, and stay tuned for more new battles in the future. So that's it, and we'll see you next time.